Welcome to the Creative Train Podcast, episode 11. I thought maybe I would put a face to the voice if you're wondering who I am. If you've looked at the podcast or heard the podcast on YouTube, I do have some other things that I've put up there, voice demos and some poetry readings and other things like that, so you know what I look like. But if you don't, some people are into that kind of thing, so here I am. For this episode, I'm going very different, no script, but the plan has been in my head. And what the plan is to ask you if there are any topics you would like to hear addressed, discussed, dealt with. Things maybe about your own creative journey that you're having issues with or would like to share successes with. We can do a joint podcast if you have the app, or we could do it over Zoom, or if you'd just like to hear what I have to say about something. We'll not get into politics or anything like that, but one of the things I mentioned in the early episodes of the Creative Train podcast was about allowing you into my world. Virtually, if you will, so that we can talk about things. Creativity and living a life that's satisfying and productive in the arts is not an easy thing. It's not simple. It's not cut and dried. It's in flux from moment to moment. And some people find that thrilling, and some people find it appalling because there is no real firm schedule imposed on us. Our scheduling is largely our own. So one of the things I've been working on is this self-guided series of creative mindset and focusing tools, as well as some other videos for a different series. So those are some things that I'm going to be talking about. But something that came up when speaking with a friend a little while ago about creativity, just to put a little shot in your arm, like a positive shot in your arm, not the other type of shot in your arm. If you're engaged in some kind of creative endeavor, if you've invested time, money, energy into it, keep on it. Don't let only having 5 minutes a day ruin your motivation. Sometimes, obviously, you've got things to do. If you have a family, or if you're a boyfriend, girlfriend, you have other responsibilities. And I'm not saying don't do those responsibilities or don't be there for those people. But when you have only, 5-10 minutes a day, when you can do something, please take advantage of it. It's never going to be time wasted. Even if it's just looking at something and seeing a different perspective on it. Maybe there's a different light in the room and it makes you think differently about a project you're working on. Take that time and use it, and then move on with the rest of your day. Don't let your creativity get pushed into the background because there are other things that are also demanding your attention. Those other things are important. There's no doubt about that. But your creative self is important as well. It's one of the most buoyant things you can have in a day and age when things seem to be pulling us all down all the time. The more time you spend doom scrolling on social media, the more you understand what I'm talking about, where you're left numb by some things that you just can't seem to turn away from. And some of it's fun. I mean, you can learn a lot of amazing things watching, people do things, that you haven't thought of, or, looking at recipes or something like that. I'm not saying there's no value in it, but when your creativity gets pushed so far back into your priority list that you don't even bother to try to make time for it. That's where the problem lies. So don't do that. If you got 5 minutes, most people have, 15, 20 minutes at the end of their day, or they're watching something on TV, or they're wondering what to do next with their time, sitting around going, oh, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. And they wander around the house aimlessly or something like that. I do that, but I don't rest. I do not rest. I rest at night when I'm asleep. Otherwise, I need to be constantly productive, because I have too many ideas to let them go. If I don't act on almost everything that I need to act on, I'll start feeling pretty bad about wasting time. So that's just me. I'm not saying you have to be like that, but take what precious time you have and use it. It will buoy you, Bouoy you, and you'll be happier for it in the long run. So there's your pep talk. Now go get to work.